Hey, welcome back. We are now on episode 12 of Divorce Sistas. Geneva still acting a fool. Now, Tiffany, I don't know why she's acting like this. You can't tell that she and Javon has something going on. I mean, this is lingering too long for me. Like, girl, are you that slow? Like, please somebody tell her something. Cause I'm tired of this. Why is she acting like that? Oh my God. She's like, you're acting like a bitch. Like, damn. But anyway, so we start this episode off with Javon and Tiffany, outside of the courthouse. Geneva just stormed off mad again, and Tiffany don't know what's going on because she's so lost. Um, so Javon puts this bug in her ear talking about, well, has this happened before? I think she's jealous. This is their first time seeing you with somebody other than, your husband. And, her husband was a bartender, so I guess she was the breadwinner of the family. And since he's an attorney, I guess he's like basically in a nutshell saying without saying they're jealous because they're used to you being with a man that you got to take care of versus one that got his own thing going on and she can't handle it. He was talking about her friends in general, but mainly Geneva. So she gets that going in her head. So when she meets up with Rashida for dinner, didn't know, no. Geneva meets up with Rashida for dinner and didn't know Tiffany was going to be there. So they get to talking. And of course, Geneva's using her daughter as a way to justify her being mad when she's really mad about the Javon situation. So Tiffany's like, yeah, he told me you're jealous. And it's like, the way she was talking, it's like, you can't think for yourself. Like, you didn't have this thought in your head before. But since he said it, and now all of a sudden Geneva's jealous of you because you got a man. Or whatever. Boo thing. And speaking of that, he basically wants to date Tiffany. I still don't know about Javon. I don't know if he is actually falling for Tiffany and is actually liking her for real, or if he's just playing this game with Geneva. If he is, either way it's messed up because even if he is falling for Tiffany, you were screwing her friend. The kid is probably yours because it's not Williams, and I don't think Geneva was just busting it open for anybody else but her husband and Javon. So he's wrong either way, and he's really wrong if he's playing this game with Tiffany because Tiffany looks like the type. She seems like the type that's cool, calm, and collected, but if you rub her the wrong way, and she gets her feelings involved, that she'll take you out. That's what Tiffany gives me. So Javon, you need to chill with all that. Whatever, you just need to leave that alone. But I know he's not going to. So this is the part that I mentioned my last video. I actually got this part mixed up with the episodes, but this is on this episode where Naomi takes Hakeem, her boy toy escort, whatever, / hitman, to Franklin's house and basically casing it. She wants him to take Franklin out. And she gives him a ghost gun because he's like, well, I got my own gun. She was like, you need this because the police gonna find you, blah, blah, blah. And Naomi is just a mess. Like, all you had to do, girl, Naomi, all you had to do was take the money that you got from the divorce and just go on with your life. Your child is grown, so you can't use that excuse of, I have to talk to my ex-husband because our son is 10 and we still have to co-parent. Your son is in college. So you don't even have to, and you're divorced. So you don't even have to deal with Franklin unless it's concerning your son on some serious stuff like he got into an accident or something positive like he got married, he's graduated from college. Like, unless it's some kind of life changing event, you don't even need to talk to Franklin. So for it to be so bad, for her to throw coffee, and look, Franklin's not innocent. He was being an asshole, but I'm just saying sometimes you just got to ignore stuff. For you to go from throwing coffee on his wife, throwing roses on her back when her back was open and exposed, now the woman got sepsis, you about to go to prison. Like, girl, all that could have been avoided if you would have just, I would have told Franklin to kiss my ass. I would have took my millions and I would have lived life, okay? So Jeff tells Rashida about the dinner that they're having with William and Geneva. And mind you, she's the only one that knows what's going on between Geneva and Javon. Jeff doesn't know that. And she's like, look, you done got us into some stuff. You about to find out. I cannot wait till this dinner. Oh my God, I can't wait till this dinner. Because I'm so curious of what's going to go on. So we finally meet Byron. I keep calling this man Byron. Myron's wife. She's totally funny. She's quirky. Like Bridget was talking about how she got her pearls on the outside, her pearl necklace on the outside of her jacket instead of like tucked in. It did look kind of funny, but I mean, hell, if she want to wear her pearls on the outside, that's how she like to do it. But she just has this kind of like quirky personality. And I could see why Myron married her, because she seems like the type to just really hold on to a man. And I think he really needs a beard, because I don't think he's bisexual. I think he's totally gay. And because he was acting so disinterested when Bridget and her were talking, and then Myron comes in. She's like, oh, you're so good to me. She's just looking at him, got stars in her eyes, and he acting annoyed like, I told you to put your pearls on the inside. And she said, I love you. And he was like, okay, love you too. Gave her a little half-ass kiss and went on. I'm like, girl, if you don't see that this man is so not interested. Now, she said he treats her nice. So, I mean, I guess that's saying something, but still, like, girl, I don't know. I gotta act so. He ain't gotta act stank like that. And for you to not realize it, I need people in this show to read between the lines and look at how people are treating you and acting and figure stuff out that way, you know? So the guy that Vaughn beat down, the one he was working for temporarily, he says he'll drop the charges against him. And so Bridget was like, okay, cool. She's happy about that. But then he was like, I don't, you need to leave him alone. You shouldn't date him. And of course she got defensive. So then Myron comes in. Myron's having some screen time on this episode. But anyway, Myron comes in. He's just like, well, that's not for free, right? He going to expect a little something for dropping them charges. And Bridget just doesn't see, because she asked Myron, do he be flirting with me? And he was like, yeah. She's like, well, how come everybody can see it but me? So I hope that dude is not low down enough to only drop charges. And then if she gets back with Vaughn, try to get him locked up again. Like, it's just too much going on in this church. And everybody working the church. Girl. So Javon tells Tiffany that it's over. She can't turn herself in. She will be arrested on sight. So she's pretty much on the run right now, because Geneva, I don't know if it was Geneva, but Rashida and Tiffany go to her house. She's not there. They call Naomi. Naomi's like, I'm on a plane. I got to go check on my son in college. Woo, woo, woo. And they're like, girl, you about to get locked up. What are you doing hopping on planes? I feel like she is on the run. So she's like, well, I gotta go see my son, blah, blah, blah. Like, girl, I don't even think y'all are that close from what we've seen previous episodes. So Geneva, the villain, as I call her, she visits the yoga teacher, the one that her daughter was like, Daddy, he hugged the pretty lady, and got her thinking that William was having an affair. She goes to the yoga studio and she's like, are you effing my husband? And the girl, now I'll say this. The girl had every right to kind of get smart with her, because why are you coming into my place of business accusing me for sleeping with your husband? But she was just doing a little too much. Like, why would someone like that looks like me want to date a middle-aged professor? Like, girl, calm down, because you act like you Miss America or something. Like, but like I said, I can understand her being defensive, but why William got to catch a stray? You basically saying he ain't good enough for you or something. But she shows her a picture of her husband, and she's like, this is my husband. He can't hold a candle. William can't hold a candle to him. She didn't say that, but I'm throwing that in there. So she gives her, the yoga teacher gives Geneva this box of, I'm guessing this is what their daughter saw when he hugged her and thanked her and stuff. She made like this list of things to do in Italy, because they have this Italy trip coming up. And so Geneva, looking all embarrassed, stormed out like, girl, you just whatever. Now, speaking of Italy, Tiffany was going to watch Anika, but Javon invited Tiffany to the Italy trip. Now, he's really low down. But like I said, I still am not sure if he's really feeling Tiffany for real, or if he's just playing his little game. And like I said, I feel like Tiffany, if he is playing a game, some tell me Tiffany is going to snap, and she'll probably be worse than Naomi when it comes to that. Let's see. So again, Myron. Jeff is really like so not feeling him. But and when I say not feeling him, I mean feeling him as far as like, dude, you talking about you like me and shit. So Myron's like, well, you're a friend, and I'm sorry and forgive me. And Jeff was like, look, I'm not your friend, I'm your boss. He pretty much set up boundaries. He's like, look, we can't even ride on the same plane no more. We need separate flights. He said us kicking, talking and stuff, hanging out on these little church trips, that's out the window. I feel like if it's going to be like that, like, does Myron do his job that good that Jeff is willing to keep him on, even though it's going to be slightly uncomfortable knowing that he likes him? Like, if y'all got to go through all that, just find something else, unless Myron is just that dude when it comes to his job. So because of this, he's off crying. Like, this is why you don't try to date people you work with, but he's off somewhere crying. Bridget comes to him. She's like, look, you need to just go on and get through this. Go on, get over this. Jeff, he's cool. You attracted to him, so what? Move on. So when she's saying all this, his wife's like, excuse me? Looking all flabbergasted. And so this episode ends like that. Now, like I said, the wife is really, I actually would like to see her on more episodes, because her character is just funny, because she claims to not be a gossip, but she was talking to Bridget. How's that little young guy of yours? That's some old passive aggressive stuff. How's that young man of yours? Because Vaughn is younger than, I think he's like, 10 years younger than Bridget or whatever. And it's like, girl, you so googly eyed over Myron. Now, Myron is fine. Like, I say that every review. He is fine, okay? But he got too much going on with the girl. So she find out that her man likes not only another man, but his boss. And I think he's the minister, so that's her boss too. You know what I'm saying? Why does everybody work at the church? Y'all got too much drama going on in this church now. Just too much. But anyway, I'm about to watch episode 13. I'm almost caught up. I think they just dropped episode 15 yesterday, day before yesterday. So y'all keep coming back. If you watch Divorced Sisters, keep coming back. All right. Shout out to my 210 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you as well who are not subscribed, but you know you can by hitting that button for me. I very much appreciate it. Peace and blessings to every last one of you watching. Until next time.